I would now... I'm very curious. I thought it was an advertisement. Let's see. Let me just put full screen. Why not, you know? Let me see the audio.
Drill. Kung Fu Panda's a 2000s animated family movie, so of course it has a tie-in video game.
Obviously,
While the world seems to have since grown tired of Jack Black's shtick, I don't think that's done much damage to Kung Fu Panda's name, and just about everyone seems to agree, at the very least, it's a fun time, with one of Hans Zimmer's best tracks. Now, these movie tie-in video games can be a real mixed bag, ranging from great to utter garbage, horrible. So let's just get into it and find out where this one stands.
Okay. Get ready to feel the thunder.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, the game introduces itself pretty unconvincingly.
I don't know if you ever played it, but there was a game, Kung Fu Panda something, for the Nintendo DS. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. Is it the same? I feel like it was this one. It was not this one. Was it this one? I feel like it was this one. Yeah, it was this one. Activision Kung Fu Panda. I feel like it was like a platform, 2D platform. Not this one, though. There are more than one? Oh shit. Not this one. It had to be like... I know this is the one, but I don't know how is it called. But anyway, yeah. I played this as a kid. It was pretty fun, honestly. I never completed the game. At some point, I got completely stuck and I couldn't go on, so I just dropped the game.
Cutscene being a wall of scrolling text, with narration that's close enough to be able to tell it's Poe, but far away enough to be able to tell they didn't use the original movie's cast for the game.
Even the Furious Five would bow in respect to this amazing hero. The Dragon Warrior.
We're then introduced to Poe's dream, serving as the tutorial section for the game.
Yeah, it's not the same as the DS.
Gameplay featuring combos of light and heavy attacks, with various enemy sizes taking a different number of hits to defeat. So in this dream, we beat the f*** out of a load of pigs and then enter ball mode to fly around the place. If you know me, you know damn well I'm a fan of this. Just pinging around like a pinball, high speed, no control, it's good fun. Then we get the game's first boss battle, this guy. At first, the battle presents itself as pretty challenging. I was taking some hits and struggling to get in any of my own. Then I realized I could just pick up a weapon off the floor and beat it to a pulp in seconds. Poe then wakes from this dream, realizing he's not a master of combat, but just a panda with a broom. Which makes the next part confusing, because on the way to watch the Dragon Warrior tournament, he beats the hell out of a bunch of pigs with axes, identical to those in his dream, to save some rabbits. So I guess even though it was a dream, it turns out the real-world Poe is just as competent at Kung Fu, even though this is the start of the story when he's not meant to be.
Doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
Too bad.
Look, I'll be honest, who cares? I guess the alternative would be we run around as Poe and he's not good at Kung Fu, but I doubt that would be as fun gameplay, so whatever, it's fine. So we save some rabbits, fire some ballistas to blow up balloons, do some platforming to traverse the environment while collecting fireworks. At first, I wasn't sure why we were collecting fireworks until Poe reveals his plan to blast himself over into the crowd to watch the tournament. Now, surprisingly, we switch to playing as Tigress for our second boss battle in the game. This is one of the most From Software looking things I've ever seen, and honestly, the fight is pretty good. The boss looks cool, its moves are difficult to dodge, and then when it opens its chest, we hit that, leading to some quick time events with some cool animations. Do this 3 times and the boss is defeated. We're only 20 or so minutes into the game, and we've already had 2 boss battles and played as 2 characters. While this pig is not particularly impressive, the Juggernaut battle is pretty good. You know the story. Through some crazy shenanigans and goofy circumstances, Poe is named the Dragon Warrior, which is supposed to be a big controversial moment because he's a useless panda, but as we've already discussed, in the game, he's more than capable of beating the shit out of groups of weapon-wielding enemies, so I guess it's fine. The next part of the game is probably my least favorite, and I find its presence a bit confusing. See, we already learned how to fight in the dream sequence, and we've already fought a lot outside of the dream. Yet now we go to Shifu's dojo to learn the fighting controls again. There's dummies to learn light and heavy attacks on, and we gotta go through all these tutorial stages like we haven't been doing this stuff for the past half an hour. We do learn at least one new move, though, the belly slam. As a big fan of Crash Bandicoot, I'm also a big fan of this move.
I am not an animal. I am Crash Bandicoot.
Another wall of text tells us Tai Lung has escaped, and we're gonna help the Palace Goose travel home safely to deliver the news. Optional quest to defeat all 18 vultures. Well, I guess I'm not doing that. We do a load more fighting before heading over to the swamps to rescue these baby tortoises from the alligators. This is the Kung Fu Panda game from 2008, and it still has better water graphics.
The water graphic is actually insane. What?
Just Cause 4. Take that as you will. I feel like these sorts of flying, dodging, front-on chase levels had a real good run.
Wait. Non-ironically, let's just leave out the water that splashes upwards, but like the one on the river, damn, it's pretty good. In all honesty,
Thousands movie tie-in games. I don't really know what else to say about it. It's pretty self-explanatory. What you've already seen is kind of what the majority of the game is from here on out. Just in different environments with different enemy types. There's the mountain gorillas section with a lot of heavier enemies that are supposed to take many more hits to defeat. That is until I realized that when you're in rolling ball mode, it basically one-hit kills any enemy that isn't a boss. This means whenever a heavy enemy rocked up, I could just press the button to go into a ball and they'd be dealt with instantly. I'm assuming this was an oversight in game design because I can't imagine they'd intentionally make all of the heavy enemy combat with Poe redundant. But also, I don't know because it seems like the most obvious thing, and I don't see how multiple people designed and tested the game without picking up on this loophole.
Come on, man! That's too easy!
We get to fight as Shifu, who can use clouds to fly into the air, and we run around rooftops as...
I feel like there were a lot of games when we were a kid that had a mechanic where they made the game super easy. Like, I don't know also if you played the Shrek game from Nintendo. It was very fun. I feel like there was this mechanic that made the character overpower. If you wanted to play the game like how they intended, you would, not the how intended, with the normal difficulty, quote unquote. I mean, with, you could say normal difficulty, you will use your normal abilities. Otherwise, you will just spam the OP ability and go through everything. So I feel like, honestly, a lot of games had this strange mechanic, you know, of the one-tap super overpowered side of the ability. I feel like
Monkey. That's one of the things I'm most impressed by here is the game lets us play different sections as different playable characters. And not only do they have their own unique moves and controls, but they all feel good to play as. Some of these movie tie-in games can't even get one character's controls right. Despite only playing like 5 minutes of the game as Master Monkey, they bothered to make him feel as free-flowing and agile to control as he should. Legendary Adventure, destroy 8 trapdoor locks. I don't know if I would describe destroying 8 locks as a legendary adventure, but okay. So at the end of all this, we reach the final battle against Tai Lung. There's a couple of stages fighting against him. It's pretty straightforward until we reach the final stage when Shifu tells us we've mastered the Super Iron Belly technique. My first reaction was to go, what is the Super Iron Belly technique? After some time, I figured out that when you're blocking, you can press attack to perform the Iron Belly, and now that we've mastered Super Iron Belly, it knocks back Tai Lung like this. Here's the thing though, a lot of the time it just doesn't work. I don't know if I didn't fully understand what I was doing or if I was missing something.
You didn't master the ability
sometimes it would work, while other times I'd just end up getting pummeled by Tai Lung, which is a huge problem because for some reason when they designed this boss, they gave him so much health. So it just feels unfair and broken when I repeatedly die and have to start all over because the Super Iron Belly isn't reliable. Anyway, let's move on.
Okay.
I don't want to end this on too sour a note because this final battle really is the only part of the game when I had the thought that I wasn't having fun. Aside from that, it's a good game. Would I put it on the same tier as Cars or the Wall-E game? Not quite. But don't get me wrong, in the world of up and down, inconsistent movie tie-in games, it's one of the good ones. Speaking of which, what's next? The Penguins of Madagascar Connect game.
Jesus.
Oh boy. The Xbox Connect plus the Penguins of Madagascar. I'm sure that's a combination that could only result in something truly magical. I guess we'll find out next week.
I'm done!
I mean, it was pretty good. It was indeed pretty good. I am now remembering actually how many fucking games I played that were referencing like movies or something. I also played an Harry Potter from Nintendo, but it was like hyper realistic. Let's see if I can find it. Harry Potter Nintendo DS. Let's see if I can. Yeah, I think it was this one. Yeah, it was this one. Yeah, it was this one. Hell yeah, man. This was pretty decent. Wasn't good. Not even my favorite. It wasn't half bad. It was this one, yeah. I feel like as a kid, I was looking at this and I was like, damn, the graphics really are something else. I thought this was the best graphical game. Look at this. I thought this shit was the best graphical game I had on my Nintendo. Can you actually believe that? Like, I looked at this and I genuinely thought, damn, this is some good ass graphics. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell? Times change. How times have changed so much. It's insane. Now, if you don't see the pubic hair of a character in 14K, you're like, I've seen better. And I feel like that's very disappointing. That's why I like WoW. It's not pretentious with this graphic. And a too heavy graphic game, I feel like just make them out as bad, you know what I mean? If you focus too much on the graphic and not that much on the content of the game, like, it's not gonna go, you know? It's not gonna end up well, you know what I mean? Anyway, amazing video by Woofa. Go like and subscribe to this guy as well. Amazing video, very cool, very nice. I didn't know this video game existed, and thank you especially for the amazing journey through my memory that you gave me. Very, very fun to watch. Thank you very much.